Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review. We've got an Ana to look at today. Let's see what they're writing here. I feel like my mistakes are costing my team's wins. I am an Ana player and have been adjusting to the Season 9 and Season 10 changes with the DPS passes I've been doing my best to maintain pressure with nades and damage, but I feel like I tend to mess up in crucial moments like being caught mid-rotation. While this game is a roll first, I don't want to spoil anything here. I made mistakes preventing us, my team ultimately, I don't want to say that, but I feel I got carried rather than pulled my weight. This is Platinum 4, Ana Junkertown. Okay. Alright, well, let's get into it here. I'd almost spoiled how this game went. Luckily, I caught it. So for those that want to actually watch the game as it plays out, nothing got spoiled. So, alright, anyway, this is our Ana. Okay, so obviously you should be nanoing 76. If this team comp stays as is, 76 is the obvious nano target, right? Like, you're going to nano Soldier when he ults and then let him do his thing. They've got Roadhog, and it feels like Roadhog is going to be a very prevalent tank after these tank changes have been in. I don't know. I've been getting a lot of Roadhogs in the games that I've played. I haven't played a ton of games. I've maybe played like 9 or so since the mid-season patch has gone in, but I feel like I've gone up against Roadhog in almost all of them, which sucks because I like playing Lucio, and Lucio doesn't really do anything to Roadhog, but I digress. So Roadhog, that's going to be your anti-target. You've got an Echo flying around, so you might have an opportunity to get a few DPS shots in off of like probably these two targets. Maybe the Moira will overextend to be healing Roadhog and you can shoot at her. But yeah, it looks like between you and Lifeweaver, you're going to be the cart princess, as they say, or payload princess, whatever it is. So let's see what we got here. And but I think Ana can fit into this team comp just fine. So let's see. So okay, sweet dreams. I skipped a little ahead in the interaction thing here. Oh, we actually have a diva now. But diva's fine. That works with your healing comp. But anyway, the one thing I would have said is, okay, you slept him, ping him, try to get the attention now on the Roadhog. Let maybe people pile up on him a little bit. But it looks like Soldier's already pre-firing on him, so maybe it wouldn't have worked out so well on this instance. But when you sleep a target, I always try to ping it, try to get people to look at it, and then wake them up with the anti-heal, or let your allies wake them up with a more powerful damage and then throw the anti off, rather as opposed to just waking them up immediately.
Don't fret, I see you. Healing you.
Warm up on the payload. Move it out.
So the one thing I would have done differently there is I probably don't even cross that bridge to where the Widow is. I probably go about halfway through it. And when I see I don't have anything to shoot at, I probably would have just dropped down to where Widow is right now. And I probably would have just played back there and then maybe necessarily back in this room back there. And then use that as a fallback zone if, like, say, for example, Venture or a flanking Roadhog tried to start pushing me. If something like that were to happen, that's probably what I would have done differently there. You didn't die, so I'm not necessarily saying what I am doing, what I would have done is right and what you're doing is wrong. I'm just giving you an alternate perspective of that's probably what I would have done. Okay, that's good you didn't use your nade. I know you didn't have it right away, but like some people I probably would have expected to, as soon as they had it on cooldown, thrown it, even though he basically got out anyway. So it's good you didn't do that.
Get out of my way or I'll run you over.
Getting drowsy? That must stay.
Yeah, so again, like you've got a dive tank. Widow could potentially get up there, but Widow's not really going to do anything to her Roadhog, sleeping or not. But again, as soon as you slept him, leave him there, ping him. Maybe Diva goes up there and gets some free shots off on him. And then at that point, because maybe she's got her rockets and she starts, you know, point blanking them on his head or something. And then at that point, then you throw the anti, because he might use his breather to heal himself and then also to get out. But then suddenly you take that away from him. But your Diva doesn't even seem to know Roadhog's there until right now when he starts shooting at him. So again, use your ping. The alternative to using ping would be if you're in voice comms, you know, just call something out, but okay, good. Good. That was a good time to anti, I think. You've got a flanking Echo to your left. I don't think you saw it, though. Yeah. Did you actually see it, or were we seeing a highlight? Not far enough back. Speed this up just a little bit. Nope, you didn't see it. So you didn't even know they were there, but yeah, you got flanked. So the one thing I think I would say here is maybe kind of go in and out of your scope. Like you're really stuck in on the scope, and it leaves you kind of blind to what's going on around you. Like scope in, shoot, unscope, assess what's going on around you, and then scope in, shoot, that kind of a thing. Because the only other thing that I would say here is you do have that I might want to take out just to keep the Diva a little bit more free. I don't really have an issue with you taking a pot shot at Ilari, though. It's just more about like knowing what's going on around you and you kind of getting tunnel visioned into your scope, and then that happens. Because you did have an opportunity to see that coming, I think. It's just you didn't.
I'm not finished.
Payload mobilized! Let's get this win! Hey! I'm ready
Healing
to
you.
initiate
My
self-destruct
ultimate is fully charged. Get in there.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Stand
Diva.
up straight.
Activating self-destruct sequence!
Touch now.
Group up with me!
Your power.
No. You just took the point. 3 people, or 2 people, are down. And then on top of that, you used it on Widowmaker? Widow is not going to get anything out of this. No. You want to save this for Soldier when he's going to ult. That's... Maybe you give it to the Diva in a weird situation where you need your tank to, like, really be tanky on the point or something, but no. This needs to go to Soldier.
Don't fret. I see you.
Enemy turret ahead!
Payload secured. Let's move.
My tree's gone.
You're covered.
Now, normally I'm okay with Ana, like, kind of sticking a little bit more to the payload. But with a Life Weaver, I feel like you should be the one moving up. It's one of those cases where it's like you're running a double main heal. I'm not a big fan of running double main heal, but if you are going to have a Diva on your team, it might be warranted, because Diva is a bullet sponge. Like, they seem to always be like half health or something, and sometimes you need that double main heal thing. But in a case like this, yeah, I would say go get your positioning, because Life Weaver has some movement abilities to him. And actually, at this point, now I would almost say you take point, let Lifeweaver pedal up there and get to your diva, because you can't. Unless he gives it to you by pedaling up there and then pulling you, and then he drops back down. I would be totally fine with that. But somebody needs to get up there to help diva right now. It's really more the Lifeweaver's job,
I
but...
have you. Keep fighting.
Okay, this will work. I mean... I'm a little surprised the Roadhog dropped that spot for that to happen, but it honestly was kind of a bad fight for him to be taken anyway, so...
Young
Understood.
punks. Get off my
Feeling you're
lawn.
not taking me
The
seriously.
payload has reached the checkpoint.
Got meds. Who needs them?
Alright, so the second point was basically a nothing point. Like, they never really contested it. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention to why that was. But all the better for you.
Taking care of you.
They must have just staggered. I mean, I know the Roadhog definitely did at the end there.
No recovery.
Good anti. They're running Kiriko now, so now you... Okay, so now you've got an interaction that you got to kind of play around a little bit. So there's a Kiriko, and it's more than likely now looking to counteract your anti-heal. So what I would suggest trying to do in this situation is make the Kiriko... Give the Kiriko a choice. So look to sleep the Roadhog in that case. And then the Kiriko's got to decide, do I wake up my tank or do I let him wake up naturally? And if the Kiriko makes the hard decision and makes maybe the wrong decision and wakes up the tank, now you get your antis off for free and they don't get cleansed. And if they don't do that, well, then their tank is slept for a while, and now you can either you get some space made off of that, or you can, you know, focus down like a Mei or whoever. Maybe you can kill the Kiriko and then anti the whole team, that kind of a thing. So. Okay, that's a good kill. Yeah, this was okay. Remember when, at the beginning of the VOD review, I said like, okay, good job not using your nade, because I would have expected some people to throw it when like the hog was basically out of the fight, but you had an opportunity just to anti him. It's kind of the same situation here, except this time, it's not needed because like the Roadhog's so low. Like if you see him take his breather, throw the nade. Otherwise, he's low. Your team's right there. He's probably going to die. And then just save the nade on the pot shot that like he starts to heal and all of a sudden his healers get in there and save him, kind of a thing. Like, okay, then throw it. I probably would have saved it more for when the Mei gets out of her icicle or ice cube, whatever you want to call it. And then throw the nade.
Stand up straight. Into an end.
Okay, so I'm not sure, why didn't you drop? First of all, why didn't Lifeweaver heal you, first of all? But then second of all, why didn't you just drop? I'm curious, where was he in all this?
Bounding forth.
He's not even paying attention to you.
Burn with me.
Yeah, this is really bad Lifeweaver play. Okay, so one thing that I'm noticing here is your Lifeweaver is not synergizing with you at all, and that's more on him than it is on you. But
This is not the end.
now, what you should learn from that interaction is that Lifeweaver's not paying any mind to you whatsoever. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So that means you got to play like next to him, which I'm actually fine with what you did there. But if your team isn't strong enough to take advantage of it, then that maybe means you got to play a little bit closer to your team and save that kind of stuff for some of the higher end games. And this one, consider maybe a lower end game. Because right now, what I just saw from your Lifeweaver right there is really low IQ. When I'm playing Lifeweaver, and if I'm playing Lifeweaver next to an Ana, I'm using my pedal. I'm giving Ana positions she can't easily get to so that they can take advantage of things. Like I'm forcing the Ana to take high ground. I'm yanking her to positions she can't, like the position you were at, like look how far along you had to go to get to that spot. Whereas Lifeweaver could have put a platform down, went up there, yanked you up there, and you'd have been up there in a second. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, when I see my Ana going up there, or if I give that kind of position to her, then I'm immediately making sure she's safe up there, so she's getting full advantage of the positioning. This Lifeweaver is not doing any of that. He didn't even know where you were. I mean, I don't. Yeah, so it's like if you're playing next to a Lifeweaver that's like that, you gotta like stay in his vision because otherwise he just forgets you exist. Now you're frontlining, so be careful here. Okay, good. You fell back. Interesting that nade didn't anti the tank, because I'm almost positive that's what you were going for. But you did get something with it. But I would say at this point, it might be beneficial to have thrown your nano out and just double down on all of the ultimates being used and then swap off Ana, because your team is getting very brawly, but the support side of it does not support this. So like Brig, Lucio, maybe Moira. I feel like those three in particular are all coming to mind as supports that would probably benefit you a little bit more here. Kiriko too, actually, because you've got Discord and you've got Maga's in his fire. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say for that, but what causes people to get lit on fire from Marga? You got those couple things you could be cleansing here. And then when Mei ults, you could be cleansing that too. When Ilari ults, you could be cleansing that, which just happened. But you have your ult, so I'm not saying you should have, be Kiriko right this second. But there's a lot of stuff to be cleansing here. So Kiriko would be another good one to go. So I'd say any of those four supports on this final push over Ana would probably be beneficial. Or if the Lifeweaver swaps to that and you stay Ana, that would be fine too.
I won't give
but, we're talking about you here, so... in terms of who to nano at this point... Oh, they got off Ryan. Okay, so now maybe forget what I just said. Your tank is just kind of flipping around here, so that happens though. That's kind of what Overwatch 2 tank gameplay is these days. That's why I don't really play much tank.
You're powered up. Get in there.
No. That's way too early. Let the fight happen. So like when you're kind of getting into this spot here and then everybody starts engaging, then nano. That happened too early. Unless Reaper like screamed on comms like nano me, I'm ready or something. Unless that happened, that felt way too early. Good anti though. Yeah, you did need to reload. Your aim needs a little work if you're going to be playing Ana. You're missing a lot of shots I would expect you to hit. Like Venture...
Enemy target. Moira by your side. Sojourn en route.
Yeah, Venture's not going to be a DPS to try to duel with. So you either need to hit that sleep dart and get out, or you need to just die a little quicker to them because you staggered yourself.
لسه قدامي كتير. Don't fret. I see you. Healing fortified.
30 seconds
Roger.
See, this Venture just knows they can, like, pressure you, and they get away with it pretty freely. Yeah, so one of two things needs to happen here. So this Venture is farming you. Venture, if your team doesn't peel for you, Venture does counter you. So you either need to start practicing playing against Venture and hitting them more consistently, or when something like what's happening here is happening, you need to swap. In terms of who to swap to when Venture is giving you trouble like this, it's going to be more the mobility supports, in my opinion, or at least that's what's been successful for me. So Lucio, like you can wall ride and kind of keep your distance from them. Moira with the teleport ability, Kiriko again with the wall climb and the teleport ability. Those are usually my kind of go-tos, but then again, I also kind of gravitate a little bit more to high mobility supports. Mercy too, because you can fly around with her and be a little bit more harder to hit. I feel like I don't really volunteer Mercy as a support swap very often. I don't really play Mercy much, but Mercy would be another one. So it's going to be one of those two things. You either need to start like really like if you really want to be like an auto one trick, you got to kind of work on those interactions. Otherwise, this would be one of those times where I'd just say it's like kind of like a situation where it's just when you to know when to swap. And this might have been one of those cases where you probably just needed to swap. Not really sure what your Life Weaver is doing here.
Get them off the payload.
So, okay, back up a little bit here. So, right here, like, I'm fine with this. It's not where I would be, but it's not the worst spot in the world. Okay, like if I were playing this, what I would be doing is I would be playing more back here and just like focusing on the heal side of it. And then when this fight either starts winning, move up to like here or something. And if it starts going kind of south like this fight ended up doing, I would just start falling back to like, depending on where your team plays, like you could either play back here or you could play back here. It's kind of like just depends on what your team's doing. But I would be playing more in a spot where I would be able to fall back and fall back here. So probably playing a little bit more like in this general area is what I would be doing. I don't necessarily hate this spot. The one thing I will say though is Venture, a better Venture might poke at you knowing that you're there. So like they do their drill dash, they come up here, they let the cooldown happen. Maybe to avoid getting shot at, they go underground here and then they come up and now they're harassing you. That's kind of what I would have been looking for the Venture to do. The Mei would be like a better Mei, one that maybe notices where you are. They could maybe ice wall themselves up here and then just start harassing you. That would be the two things that I'm noticing just right off the bat, off of that positioning, on top of the fact that you're about to lose line of sight on everybody, and then you take a really long time to get back into the fight, and then, you know, all hell just is breaking loose while that happens.
Get them off the payload. You're covered.
don't be overly concerned about Farah. That should be Lifeweaver's job to heal Farah. Your job right now is to heal Diva.
I'm under attack. Healing fortified. Healed up.
And again, in a case like that, don't worry about Lifeweaver. He got out. He was safe. Let his passive heal him. You get into a safe position so you can keep the Diva going. But instead, what you do, let's go into the Zarya's line of sight. So like right now you're good, but then you kind of just throw yourself out there to be killed. All to try to heal somebody who was fine anyway, but for some reason you deem them not fine. There you go.
My ultimate is
They're
charging.
pushing the payload. Cut them off.
Activating self-destruct
Agon.
sequence.
Warrior, ready to march.
Covering you.
Reload. So, okay, I would have reloaded just to keep the Diva up when they start to pressure the Diva again, but you got a pick, or you helped get a pick on the Moira, so good job. The only thing is will this cost you... Nope, okay, you're good, you're good.
Cut that ultimate is almost ready.
Healing you.
So, alright, I'm looking for you to nano this fight when they start to engage, and I'd probably give it to Farah. I wouldn't hate if you gave it to Torb either, but only if you feel like Torb's doing work. Otherwise, I'd probably look to give it to Farah here. You might be able to combo ultimates. I'm not saying nano Farah because she has ult though. I'm saying because it'll probably enable her to do something really good, hopefully, because they're not really running much to counter Farah.
You're powered up. Get
No,
in there.
I don't do that. Nice, good kill there. I don't give it to the Diva though. I don't feel like Diva gets enough benefit from nano. I again would have given that to one of your DPS.
Your carry is here. Come back.
So, alright, I feel like you're kind of hanging around this area a little too much, and where I would be looking for you to move to, like, initially I was fine with you being there, but I feel like you're staying here a little too long, and playing over here might be a little bit more beneficial. I think I probably would have looked for you to have moved over here at the start of the last fight, the one where I was telling you, like, okay, look for nanoing Farah or something like that. Maybe taking this spot over here, or even playing maybe like back in this area, like kind of move to give yourself a little bit more line of sight so that when the fight, if the fight kind of gravitates a little bit more ahead of the cart, you still got a line of sight, because where you're at right now, you've got limited vantage to where the fight is. And once Diva moved up, you lost her, and then she lost mech because of it. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, so like you're doing it now, which is good.
My ultimate is almost ready.
But like, say for example, if this were like the previous fight and the Farah was looking to engage or maybe use their ultimate or something like that, and then suddenly now you pop nano on Farah, and then that whole fight might have went a completely different direction. Farah maybe doesn't even die. Maybe Diva doesn't even lose mech because they're all like dying to Farah or focusing on shooting her, and she's nanoed, and then Lifeweaver gets a heal shot or two up on the Farah and they stay up. You know, that kind of a thing. That's kind of how I would have looked at that. But it's probably, I'm probably picking it, you know. Heal Farah. Farah needs help.
I'm on fire. What else is new?
Somebody heal Farah, please. Okay, I think... Okay, Lifeweaver got him.
Brimming with firelight. My tree's gone. My cover.
Excavation initiated.
Oh, yeah.
Your carrier's here.
Good. Okay, that's the first. That's sad that we're this far into it, and it took this long for the Lifeweaver to use any abilities on you whatsoever. That is not good Lifeweaver gameplay. But at least better late than never, right? Like at least you finally did it once, because that Venture just had it out for you. That was not a good ultimate by Venture, but if they got the pick on you, you would have taken a little while to get back, but ultimately you would have rather have seen Venture just hold on to that for this next fight here.
I've got you.
Don't know what that was.
Patched up. Stop the payload. I won't let you fall.
Okay, so now that you're at kind of where you're at, where I would suggest playing is right there. Play there, and then you can fall back to the Mega if it's needed. And then if they happen to flank you through here, you can either go to where the Farah is going, or you can go up there, that staircase, and then just kind of, it's all going to kind of depend on how and where they push you. But where I would be playing right now if I were you is probably a little bit closer to that Mega. Good kill.
No wonder I can't retire.
So you should heal Farah there, but just the aim could be a little bit better.
I'm on top of the world.
Okay. So, number one, I'm going to say your aim could be a little bit better. This is on console though, so that might maybe be why your aim's not quite where I would expect it to be at a platinum level. Because I'm obviously a PC player. But as far as aim as on a PC level at Plat 4, I would expect your aim to be better. So, again, console might be a little bit different, but your aim could use some work. I'm just gonna say Venture. A little bit more better of an interaction with the enemy Venture. Venture's the new character. It's gonna take time to get better at all that, but that Venture was giving you some trouble at times. Not so much when they were on attack, but when you were on when you were on attack, but when you were on defense, not so much. But when you were on attack, that Venture was getting the better of you. So then that kind of goes into either playing a little bit more around Venture diving you, getting some better shots off on the Venture, or just swapping entirely. 3 nano. You weren't nanoing at all how I was expecting you to. We called that out as we saw it. So that's something to maybe kind of get the better of. And then 4, I'm just gonna say comms, because 1, I didn't really notice you pinging, and then 2, you could be communicating with Lifeweaver to maybe get more out of the Lifeweaver Ana combination there. I would say that's a little bit more on the Lifeweaver than it is on you, but maybe you could be calming that, like, hey, can you pedal me up and yank me up to high ground, or ask for peels from the Lifeweaver and the Lifeweaver could save you. That kind of a thing. So these would be the 4 biggest things that I noticed just off the top. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.